Hello, and welcome to the Angel Channel. It's Monday, December 11th. What's going on, Mr. Bryan?
Oh, just having another week, man. Here we are again.
It
What's
happens
going
so
on in your
fast.
world?
You know what? The holiday season seems to have an interesting effect on time. It's like this whirlwind, and then suddenly you're ejected into the next year, and it's the middle of January. That's for me anyway. That's the way I seem to experience it. What's up, we see Helen out there. What's up, Helen? I see Grace. What's up, Grace? Good to see you guys.
Helen, how are you? I have to tell you, Helen. Our communication's been really fun. I've enjoyed it very much, and something you said in one of your posts or your messages to me was about just being, and I think I wrote you a message back about emotions and stuff. But that interaction just really spurred a whole like boom for me, and I busted out my Just Be deck. I have a deck that's like just like affirmation cards for each day. Be happy, be sad, and like the whole list of all the things that are the myriad and texture of life. And you pull one of those every day, and it's like a cool thought about that particular thing. So and the whole being the light, just be thing is like kind of really growing in a really cool way too. I've gotten a bunch of really nice downloads. Like being in the angel energy for the weeks we've been in has been just really joyous and uplifting. And man, they are brutally honest.
Ain't that the truth?
And when they talk to you, and it's like my dad like looking at me right in the eyes going, okay, here you're going, it's just like uh, and I try to I try not to ask them or get answers and then not follow the advice.
Yeah,
Which is sometimes easier than others, you
I
know
love that. Helen says, "Oh, awesome! To spark someone else is the best I could do." And I got to tell you, I love this weird the way the collective works. In my experiences, so many times I like I'm friends with somebody, and then I bring somebody else into the fold, and then those two people connect and like have their own spark happening between them, like you and Grace and you and Jill and you and Helen. And I just love that. I love that there's that 0 degrees of separation. It's like really cool. Awesome. Truth will
Well, I
set you.
like to think of it as the definition of frequency magnetism.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Everybody attracts what they need for whatever lesson and learning and part of the next evolution,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
go.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Helen gets the same thing. Yeah. So it's an interesting feeling, like you could feel that conduit. And I got to tell you, Bryan, speaking of that, and it's so interesting because you were talking about before the show, you were talking about putting your presence into two locations, and I was watching you.
Okay, go ahead.
I was watching you, gather your energy and gather your chi before the show, and I was like, my body started moving and I started feeling what you were doing. You know what I mean? I felt like, I know you don't understand what I'm saying, but I do. So that's all that matters.
What wouldn't I understand about that?
Well,
That's
I
what
just
energetic connection is
there
about.
you go. I loved it. I love it. And it was great to watch it and then feel it and be like, I could feel that. You know what I mean? Like that was cool.
That's the only reason I keep doing it, man. If like I couldn't feel it, if it
Yeah.
didn't work, if I just was throwing out stuff for affirmations and like it was just words,
Right.
I wouldn't do
Well,
it.
I love it because I feel like, and also related to what you were just saying about the same frequency and being attracted to the same frequency. I've worked with a lot of different people with doing meditation things and past lives, all these things, and there are only certain people that you do it with that you get to that level, like you really connect and you kind of you can touch that frequency.
That's
So,
true.
yeah.
So Grace, Thanks for the props on the dragons. The dragons, I think, are going to wind up being their own deck.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been having such a good time drawing them, and like every time you do it and you critique it, you go, "Oh, I could do that a little better. Let's try that one." And that's how I'm such an addict when it comes to that, man. Once that wave happens, I want to surf on that until I can't think of anything else to do, which usually takes a while. Oh, I could do that. Oh, I could do that. I can't tell you how many nights, light painting is all about being in the dark. So, like, you get started with shooting this, and you finally kind of get to that area, and it's just really close, but it's not perfect. And you're going, oh, I should really get in bed, but oh, just one more shot. Just one more shot. You just one more shot yourself all the way to dawn, and the light comes up, so you can't shoot anymore, and that's the end.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what is the best, man.
Let's drop one of these in there just for
Oh yeah,
just for the visuals of what we're talking about. If you're new to the energy here.
That's 3 strokes. The body of the dragon was one complete stroke, and
Right.
then each of the wings were one stroke in one shot.
That's beautiful, Bryan. You have really mastered your tools here, like,
Well,
you've
fiber
always done
optics
that.
brush.
Yeah, well,
Okay, hold on one second.
you got a new tool, and it became something new. It found its energy. It found its energetic, signature. I love that.
The fiber optics brushes are just so crazy
Oh,
because you only get little tips of the color on it. So each one of these becomes an opportunity to draw a line.
oh,
And by taking little gels, Julie, I got a Julie prop. She sent me the greatest little packet of like colored gels that I've been doing all my. Here, I got this one. Yeah, this is a really good one.
nice.
Purple,
Purple and blue, yeah.
and it's like actually dipping your paintbrush into pigment, which
Yeah.
I've done all my life. I mean, how could
Yeah.
you not like just really enjoy it?
Yeah, energy pigment. I love it. It's
Yeah.
really
Well,
amazing.
actually drawing with light energy and photons,
Mhm.
nothing like I've never found anything like it. It's really
Mhm.
my favorite medium of all.
Totally. So,
So,
you want to get into the
I
angels?
thought we should announce like um tonight's going to be the last show for we're going to take a break for over Christmas and the holidays, regroup and refresh and practice and celebrate the solstice and Christmas, and kind of just
Come back
have
in
a
the new year.
decompression. Yeah, we'll be back on the 16th of January after tonight, and kind of looking forward to going off.
Yeah. I think it's
Where
always
I can travel for a little while.
it's always good to recharge. I'm excited to see my family for the holidays. They're spread all across the country, so every once in a while we'll get together, and we get to spend a couple of days together. So I'm excited about that. And the new year, yeah, this time of year is always a big blur to me. Like I was saying,
Well,
it's
this is a big time of year. I mean, there's like great meteor showers happening, and today is kind of really a super intense day. I don't know. Do you know when you know what the day was like when you were born, Michael? Like what the temperature was,
I don't. I never really even
where
thought
was
about
the
that.
moon?
No,
Exactly.
no.
It would be okay. I was born on a Saturday, um, and I was born on the gibbous full moon. So
Okay.
that means just the last little sliver, the day before it goes absolutely full.
Mhm.
And that day, every month, I'm like supercharged. I feel like I have
Mhm.
superpowers, and I'm just like on top of it. My attitude is like, yeah.
I gotcha. I gotcha.
And then conversely, like today is the waning crescent.
Mm.
So it's the last day before the new moon.
The inverse, right?
Yeah, I woke up this morning in just the worst mood, and
Mm.
it felt like somebody had stuck a straw in my solar plexus and
Ugh.
sucked all my energy out. Oh, and that I've noticed that and have known about that for over a couple decades, and it's just kind of really crazy that it happens every month, regard. And I refuse to feel prisoner by that. Like,
Right.
no, no, no,
Right.
no, no. I learned some new thing. Okay, I'll apply this to that and see if we can like march by. And
Mm.
I'll even forget about it and then feel like horrible and go look up the date and there it is. And I was
Wow.
aggressive, like
So is that like some sort of cyclical energetic
every month.
signature?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And if you notice the way the moon affects you, like
Mhm.
it's a good starting point. What were the phases
That's
of the
I
moon?
love that. Yeah, that's a great
What were
idea.
the phases of the moon when you were born? What
Mhm.
where was it? Was it half, full? And then see if that's kind of like a time where you feel energized and like
Yeah. Yeah,
now.
yeah.
And then notice where, nobody goes in a straight line. It's all biorhythms.
Sure.
It's
Yeah, yeah.
all waves. And it's funny that my height and low is exactly the opposite side of the
Right. Right.
of the, of the
Yeah, no, you know what? I'm gonna look into that. I definitely know plenty of people who can help me with my astrological chart and tell me tell me those things, what the sky
well,
is
this is
looking like.
probably not going to be unless they're really deep into it. They're not going to be able to tell you what the phase of the moon was,
Oh,
possibly.
no? Okay.
But you can look that up on the web, like what day were you born in the city you were born, and it'll tell you the temperature, and it'd be good to have all of that, dude.
Right.
What was the high pressure or low pressure? Like everything about that time.
Yeah.
What was the humidity?
I'm gonna write that down and I'm gonna research it.
Day of the week? Like every
Mhm.
every little single part of that is telling you something about the way your life is now. I think
And
I've been
will
astounded.
continue in a cycle to be, right?
Say again. Say
And,
again.
so you're saying it will not only tell you where your life is, but like how it works cyclically.
I energetically,
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
born on not you're born into that day.
yeah.
That day starts a cycle for you.
I got
And
it.
and every lunar cycle, like that happens every 28 days
Right.
without fail.
Great. Awesome. Important information. I love it.
Yeah, this is the Angels busy season.
Yeah. Julie's saying they sell jewelry for your moon phase on your birth date. So I guess a lot of people, I'm just one of the few that doesn't know that. The few people here that don't know that. And cyclical energy, cycle energy. Helen says that's how I feel all winter. Every winter, I saw you say something about hibernating, and I feel the same way in the winter. I love the solar energy of the warmer seasons.
And
So anyway,
curiously enough, like the angel that we'll do today, the planet associated with this now is the moon.
well,
Yeah, and it's so like wow.
right,
So
right. Well,
important. It's so important in this angel, and watching the way the show has been reflecting that on the cards with where things are astrologically has been kind
yeah,
of crazy. I had a great time with our angel last week, and what a great energy. This like empowering. Ooh, I just felt like I could conquer anything. And
yeah,
tonight's Lelahel pretty gnarly as well. Yeah.
yeah.
And
Taking a lot
so,
out of you. So
yeah.
Debbie was commenting just about the moon. She said she felt an unknown anger inside today. Well, and all she could do was say, "I released this anger," and the moon
Well,
explained.
Debbie, I have a little trick for you, and I've been using it all day, and it works like a charm. And it never fails. And this to me is one of the greatest jewels of my whole journey because it has a huge effect for doing absolutely nothing. And that for like if you're angry, this is a Jinsen Jitsu technique.
Mhm.
Take your right hand, if you're right-handed and that's your main hand, use that hand to wrap around the finger of your left hand, and that would be your middle finger. right? That's for anger. And just by sitting there and holding that, you don't have to focus on it. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to do anything. You can watch TV, anything, you take a bath, whatever, and just sit there for 10 or 15 minutes with that. And you'll notice, you probably won't feel anything as you're holding your finger, but as you tell yourself that you want to release it, and, well, you don't even have to do that. As you just sit there and hold your finger, about 10, 15, 20 minutes later, you start going, that doesn't bother me nearly as
Yeah,
bad.
yeah, absolutely.
And
And
I used
we did that with the thumb last, I think that was last week, and I must have seen it 2 or 3 times since then, like just like
It's a
in my
go-to, man. I
in
do
my
it. I do
vortex.
it
Yeah.
multiple times a day. And the one where you hold your thumb in your palm
Yep.
and
Yep.
wrap your hand around that balances all of the energies.
Helen's been practicing jinjitsu since you mentioned it last week. There you go.
You finding it useful then, Helen? Is
I'm
it?
imagining, yeah.
That's great. That's great.
That's awesome, man. I love the fact that we just kind of come here and talk about this stuff and do what we want to do, and people respond that way. So
Helen, listen,
thank you
if you
guys.
have if you're into that, you should really scope out the whole book and the whole system. I think it would blow you away. And it's a book called A Touch of Healing by Alice Burmeister. I'm sorry. And it is just a fantastic book, and having the explanations for all of those, and like knowing all the elements, the energies, the organs that those work on. It's a whole physical thing. It's not just an energetic thing. So check that book out if you get a chance. I think it would be really, really useful.
A touch of
Well, and
healing.
everyone, yeah, it's my go-to. That would be like if I could only take 2 books to a desert island for the rest of my life. It would be that book and the Bardon book. Yeah, the Bardon companion book by Ron Clark. I don't feel like my mouth is connected to my brain. Bear with me.
You're doing all right. You're doing all right. So, do you want to start talking about Lelahel or?
Actually, I think a nice little quick grounding
Oh yeah, let's do that.
would be really good.
I was going to mention I really love when you do that because I feel.
And
I
I
get
need
better.
another cup of Java, so I'll be right back.
Cool. Awesome. So I see Janice showed up. Welcome, Janice. Good to see you there. And Helen, yes, noted. And Jilly uses that great advice too. It definitely came up a few times in my feed and in my vortex and just conversation. The whole idea of just transferring energy or centering your energy that way.
So shout out for Debbie. Like, I had a day today that the moment I woke up, like I got about 6 pieces of news, all of which just enraged me. Like they pushed my button to the deepest, like,
oof.
And the Jinsen Jitsu thing helped a whole lot. We're going to do an energy grounding right now, and I would really suggest that you latch onto this and do this with your own energy as well. And just kind of pay attention. Well, it'll be recorded on the show too. This is a great technique to use anytime you get out of whack. When your emotions are running away with you, you don't make good decisions ever.
Right.
You don't make good decisions for yourself. You don't make good decisions interacting with other people. And your vision is clouded as to what's really going on anyway, because your emotions are telling you what's going on rather than letting you observe what's going on and see what's real. So, yeah, let's start with a little bit of a grounding and a charge up. And then we'll do an offering of gratitude, which, it's all great to do gratitude when you're really happy and everything's really cool. But when you've gotten a bunch of bombs and you want to be pissed off and you're like, let that go, man. Thank you for all of it. I think that's when it really counts the most as well.
Yeah.
So, all right. Let's take 3 really deep cleansing breaths. We'll go in through your nose and out out your mouth. And when you exhale, and when you inhale, don't just take a little breath, like take a breath that, and when you think it's full, just try to stuff a little more in there. Just fill it to the brim. And when you exhale, exhale out through your mouth and push it so that you're like, and when it feels like you're getting kind of to empty where you would normally take a new breath, there's still a lot in there. So push again and until you just absolutely run out. Okay. We're going to start there first.
Try it.
All right. So let's begin. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Stuff some more. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Really pack it. Exhale with force. Excellent. All right, so we're going to start with grounding, and my method of grounding. There's as many as there are magical people. My method of grounding relates to each of the individual bands of your aura. So we're going to do three energy pushes, and however you want to visualize this, you could, like, your hands could be like laser beams scanning down your body. You could be like I've often used this and people have liked it, and that's like, imagine you're like a 2-liter Coke bottle, right? And you're just stuffed till it's almost exploding, and you stick a screwdriver or something in the bottom and make a hole, and that water is just boom, like a fire hose out of the bottom of it. So, you can start at the top of your head where the liquid would be, and you just push it down and use the mnemonic of like imagining the liquid. You're seeing the level of the liquid just pushing down. But you have to put some energy on this. This isn't just like thinking, The more juice you get, the better you go. Okay. So we're going to start with the energy band. And we are going to ground any negative energy of any kind. Light up your energy field. Any negative energy of any kind, of my own construction or anyone else's, in this frequency or any other frequency. I'll give it a good push. Right down into the ground. Okay, we're going to move to the water band, the emotional band. This is laden for me, so we might spend a minute on this or so. I ground any emotional goo, negative, nasty, emotional goo of any kind, of my own construction or anyone else's, in this frequency or any other frequency. Rage, anger, disappointment, fear, pain, fear in all its many, many forms. Impatience, rage, All right, we're going to move to the mental band, and we're going to ground the third band of our aura where information lies. And this is a place where unused pattern energy lies, gossip, any kind of mental talking, yak, 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 yak kind of stuff. I ground the airbound, any mental blockages, any information, disinformations, any confusion, any goo from the upcoming Mercury retrograde. Okay, and last but not least, we're going to ground the earthbound, and that's where the energies of those three other bounds materialize in the real world. We're going to ground any negative material manifestations, anything financial, anything to do with your daily life, your health, your financials, your job, your interactions with other people, your property, any blockages to your progress in the physical world, any blockages to your progress in the physical world, any blockages to your progress in the physical world, gone. Get rid of everything that's not needed. Any debris, any old goo, all of it. Sparkly clean. Okay, now that we've gotten rid of all of that energy, there's a whole lot of room in there for a lot of new stuff. So reach down. My favorite place down near the Earth's core, where the core of the mantle is scraping against the molten core, and it's creating this crazy amount of really pure electromagnetic energy, and it looks really blue to me, which I love the flavor of, and it's so creative and inspirational to me. So just imagine shooting down from the bottom of your feet two long pipes, oil drilling pipes, and you're right down to where that energy is, and you're feeling it crackling around you, and you take deep breaths, and with each breath, you're pulling up a huge chunk of that through those straws right into your body and up into your solar plexus. You can feel it, man. It's tangible. Bright, blue, crackly, creative potential. Yours to create your own universe with. Deep breath. Pull. I like to keep going with this until I get goosebumps. We'll go for a few more seconds. All right, while we're here, and your solar plexus is now full of all of this amazing energy, we're going to take that energy and we're going to expand it. And it's going to become like the surface of a sun, just bright, 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 bright. Oh, just keep turning up the intensity. Just glow out into the world. Send your joy, send your love, send your bliss, send your creativity. Create a sacred space to share time with the angels this evening. I cleanse and purify this space. I make this place pure. I cleanse and purify this space and make this place pure. I cleanse and purify this space, a sacred place for us to commune. And give heartfelt thanks, gratitude beyond words, and our joy and love to the source. For all of it, thank you. Ooh.
Whew.
We
Yeah.
can quit right there, man.
Yeah. Oh my God. Wow. Yeah. Good stuff. I don't know if any of you guys are with us, but yeah, you are. I could feel you.
Yeah, that was pretty intense. I needed that bad, man. That grounding. I like feel so much better now. Like,
Good.
ooh, totally.
Yeah, I can it like actually physically I can see you changed. Awesome.
All right, so let's talk about Angel Lelahel tonight.
Yes.
Number 6.
Number 6. The angel of light and understanding.
Yeah. I have always been particularly enthralled with this image for some reason. It really just like it's wisdom to me. You know, some people say it's like it's dark or it's kind of spooky or but to me it just feels like just raw wisdom sitting there. And I've always loved that very, very much. Yeah, this is associated with again with the 4 of Cups or the 4 of Wands, which are the 4 corners of the celebration tent. And again, um, part of the Aries, scenario. And the 4 of Wands was our card last week too. So, and these are again part of the choir of Seraphim, like the highest order of angels. Yeah, we're coming to the end of the Aries thing. We're in the last decade of Aries, which means it's starting to change. Yeah, into Taurus and those energies are already starting to kind of overwhelm the Aries energies in there. So that raw, the very first part of Aries, is about just raw energy and like forge ahead, and it's all that Mars like intensity, and tempered by the real world Taurus like manifestation. That's an Earth sign. It really can be a very useful little chunk of energy there. So kind of fun. Yeah. All right. So here's the reading. Oh God, you're talking to me. Just stop. So impatient and narrow-minded. If you want your dreams to become realities, they need to be fueled by focused intent, willpower, and energy. Be in a state of gratitude for your many blessings. You will always see positive improvement in every situation, even though ones that seem negative at the time. You just have to keep going and never, never, never give up. When you love, be willing to share it. Be thankful for everything and everyone you have. Focus on the smaller things in life and appreciate the things that really count. Joy is so powerful it can't be stopped, but the world has its relentless pressures and can obscure the brilliance of light. This creates a need to learn to appreciate what you have. Find your own happiness regardless of others' opinions. Yeah. Mirror of the soul. Mirrors are such an integral part of my spiritual journey, metaphysical journey. Like I have one behind me right now, but it's like I use all the time. It's like it's a vehicle, it's a door, it's a way to face yourself. This is a mirrored image. That it's not just a graphic gimmick for me. It's like part of my cosmology and understanding
Sure,
of energy.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know again, it's like I kind of draw these weird comparisons, but like the something that I've been talking about recently is the ability to see your reflection in others, right? To see yourself in everybody, and I kind of feel like that's related to the energy of the mirror that you're talking about. So, and I love this. It definitely looks like a wizard with his arms out, and energetic.
It doesn't look human to me.
Yeah,
It's like a spiritual, like,
yeah, not a human wizard. Obviously, this is,
yeah.
but that kind of that energy it has to me, and I love it.
So anybody out there looking for a live reading? I'd be happy to pull a card for you. I've got a couple of people that I talked to. Hey, there's my friend Linda Martin. Hey, what's
Yes,
up?
she said she just
Yeah.
tuned in during the cleansing, with a big wow.
Good. I hope you got part of it. Got to suck up part of it. That was a good one tonight,
Helen
Linda.
sees a hawk. I can see the hawk head in there as well. Um, Nice. And Helen's LOLOL reminds me of the what I started with the Hebrew letters, and this is the Hebrew version of Lelahel. I believe I have the chart here. So the letter to focus on, I guess, here is the Lamed. So we're looking at the L equivalent of the Hebrew alphabet. And it's interesting to me, and maybe you can tell me, Bryan. I noticed that the way that the angels were spelled, Lelahel. I can see the Lelaheh part here in this. It's almost like an abbreviation, and then I found this graphic here.
You're like looking by where those letters came from.
What do
Those
you mean?
letters came from the 3 verses in Exodus,
Okay,
and that's
that
how
with
those
the
got
angels,
determined.
right?
So, like,
Gotcha,
the amulet has nothing to do with this.
gotcha.
Those things came from, like, I think I explained this a couple times, so bear with me if I'm repeating myself.
No, that's fine.
Like, there's 3 verses in Exodus that are exactly 72 characters long,
Mhm.
17 or 18, 19, and 20. And the way that the 3 letters were derived for the names of the angels were taking the first letter from the very first
Right,
verse, the last letter from the second verse, and then the first letter from the first again. And then they're repeating that sequence all the way until those 3 letters had been assigned all the way through 72 letters. So that's where those names came from and
right.
how
I
they
got
were
you.
arranged.
I got you. Right. So the only reason I had brought up the amulet was because the Lela, the more phonetical, I guess, translation, or what I would expect to see in the spelling of Lelahel, um, it's not the angel. I guess it's just the word. So I'm never mind what I was talking about. But I was recognizing the symbols to sound out the equivalent, kind of like the English equivalent of what the word sounds like, is what that represented. So it looks like Debbie is interested in a card. Yes, to a card, as well as Jilly is always up for a card reading. So you've got 2 takers here on some card readings.
Debbie, let's grab you one. All right, do me a favor. Concentrate really hard and imagine that you're just standing right in front of my face, and we're just it's a beautiful day outside, and we're just looking into each other's eyes. And if you have a specific question, think really hard on that. Words of wisdom for my friend Debbie. Be with us and share words of wisdom for my friend Debbie. Words of wisdom for my friend Debbie. This is our card from last week, the Angel of Healing. And
Which
man, this is a really, really fabulous card.
what number is it?
What?
Which number?
It's number 5.
Number 5.
Completion and a new beginning. You have succeeded. Perfected your art, and you will feel balance, satisfaction, and joy. Make plans to enjoy the fruits of your hard work. Romantically, you could be forming sound foundations for relationships or a marriage. It will be a rich and satisfying match. Your mind is buzzing, creative and sharp now. Seeds you planted begin to bear fruit. Rewards will be received for your past efforts, and abundance will be the word of the hour, and prosperity rules. Meet and beat your present challenge. Meet and beat your present challenge, and you will feel a sense of completion. The welcomed regeneration when opposite energies finally harmonize. These moments are a deep soul cleansing. Celebrate and be generous with your treasure. Show appreciation to those who supported you. Give yourself permission to be your biggest self. Man, like, yes, your biggest self, the biggest you can possibly be. Allow your higher spirit to assist you in lending assistance to others. Life is a beautiful celebration. Embrace it at every turn of the road. That's a good one, Debbie.
That's a great card.
Yeah. So face your challenge. It's never easy. Face your challenge.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's pull one for Jolito.
Linda said she thought she might pass out with all of that deep breathing. That's what I love about it. It puts you into this state of like bliss almost. I don't think it like I felt like I was going to pass out.
Some people pay big money for that, Linda.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And Grace, thank you so much. Always looking out for us, watching on both platforms. Ding, ding, ding. Grace gets a bell.
Okay, Jilly, you know the routine. Yeah, focus really hard. You have something specific. Focus really hard. Which one? Okay. Words of wisdom for my favorite friend, Chili. Words of wisdom for my favorite friend, Chili. Words of wisdom for my favorite friend, Chili. Ah, 24, the Angel Protection. That's one of my favorite cards, too. Yeah. You are getting their attention and the results are starting to pour in. A new relationship is possible. You've been asleep. Time to wake up to the world and all its opportunities. Oh, God. I always believed that there will be positive change. Stop worrying. New possibilities and new opportunities will be offered. There are new relationships and new ideas waiting to be discovered. Trust and believe that your ideas are good and have a little more patience. When it looks like nothing is happening, get ready for an exciting surprise. Your enthusiasm will overflow your cup. Seize the opportunity and the moment. You will know the joy of the best of both worlds. You know, it's funny. I pulled this card for myself this morning, too. Yeah. And it's about the moon, and 24 is what Bryan adds up to, and it's just crazy the way all the little. And my moon is in Cancer, so it's like there. That's kind of a fun one. I hope that worked, Jilly.
Yes, much needed. She said much needed, and Debbie also responded. Debbie said pretty spot on, enduring the challenge. Right.
You know, Debbie, this is going to sound really hokey, but this is advice I give myself all the time too. When you're in the middle of those, I mean, that's why I do this gratitude thing all the time. When you can be grateful for that and like see that as your opportunity, not your torture. You know,
Hmm.
it's not
Hmm.
something being done to you. It's an
Hmm.
opportunity to find that part of you that's your biggest self.
Hmm.
And that's the goal of all of us, man, to take what we have and evolve that to the best of our ability, you know?
Hmm. Hmm.
And that's a good way to go about looking at those challenges when they can become daunting, because
Right.
they do, but if you keep your mind on the bigger part of that it's just an opportunity to show what you're really made of. And you're gnarly, Debbie. You're ooh.
Wow, Brian, and I got to tell you what you're saying. It's so funny because it's how everything relates, and it's always like the words can be heard by whoever needs to hear them. This weekend, out of nowhere, I got suddenly booked up on Friday night. I mean, on Saturday night to be the photographer to shoot photos with Krampus. They were doing at a local curiosity shop. So they're doing this Christmas thing. So it was work, but I was like, I felt like I don't want to really work. I don't like, who likes working, right? But I said okay to it, and I did it. And then Sunday I was doing a live stream for a benefit at a local venue for bands, 3 live bands. And again, it's you're like, oh my God, I don't want, this is work, it's like, you try not to do it. But when I was there in the moment, both of those moments, I was like feeling the gratitude, like this is what I do. You know what I mean? I'm a photographer. I take pictures. I make people feel, happy when they see the pictures and the live stream stuff. It was just like, it's what I do, and exactly what you're saying. Instead of looking at it as like a torture, you look at it as an opportunity to be grateful for who you are, you know? It
And the
really,
opportunity to grow and evolve, it's like every day is a chance to get better.
yep, yep. It
Not
felt
because
really
of
good.
anybody else or comparing yourself to anyone else or like none of that. Just to you, to like
Mhm.
find the best you in there, man, because
Yeah,
it's there.
yeah.
And that's a great purpose to the
Yeah,
journey.
yeah, exactly, and that's exactly what it felt like. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
All right, I'm gonna do a reading for the beautiful's your word for the night, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, well, I'm gonna do a reading for the whole group. Yeah. So hopefully this will apply for everyone. This will be an interesting experiment. If you have a question, everybody focus on their own. Oh, wow, that's interesting. Okay, here's a real challenge for you guys. Words of wisdom for all of us. Words of wisdom for everyone listening. Words of wisdom for all of us. Words of wisdom for everyone listening. The angel of redemption.
What number is that?
20.
20.
Helen, this is for me and you. Control your emotions. You let your empathy run away with you until you are lost in each other's feelings. You forget whose feelings are whose. You want to, wow, that's just really crazy. We just did a whole like group thing. Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
You forget whose feelings are whose. You want to take on healing everyone you meet. Conflict and intense misunderstandings throw your relationships out of order. Your ego demands that it is right and digs in, making you brittle and inflexible. If you are too possessive or too demanding in a relationship, your own pride will destroy love. The protection of your ego is an illusion and not worth the price you will have to pay. Everything cannot be perfect all the time, and all or nothing attitude will deprive you of what you need. Try not to repress your emotions, but learn to experience them and let them flow through you. Learn to emotionally resurrect and recharge yourself. You are capable of experiencing great joy even in the direst of times. Wow, those guys blow me away.
Indeed, 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 indeed.
Mm, mm,
Yes,
mm.
yes.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for all of this. And thank you deeply for me. Okay, that was pretty intense.
Yeah, good stuff, man.
Okay, unless you have anything left to do, left to say.
Well, I was asking, am I thinking right? So I guess yes. Thank you. There you go. There you go, Helen. I'm so happy you come to this, and Grace and Jilly and Debbie and Linda. Everybody, I love the energy coming together. Bryan, I truly, I really, again, your energetic leader, through your rituals, they really hit me. So thank you. I really appreciate that stuff.
You're welcome.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, I mean, I guess have a great holiday, everybody. Enjoy the break. Um, do plenty of readings with your Wizard of Odd Oracle deck, and I guess we'll see you guys
Really
in the
thankful
new year.
for all of you guys and your participation and your sharing your energy with us too. It's greatly appreciated, and I hope it's uh, I hope it's helping us all.
Absolutely. And Linda said that was a great card for all of us.
Yeah.
Totally, totally. And love to all from Helen, and see you in January from Grace. And Debbie says, glad the ritual is online. Yes, you can always go back and do it over and over. It's great. You can have Bryan lead you in there.
And Debbie, if you want to go deeper with any of this, like I'm giving little tidbit snack pieces here. There's just not time to go. Like we could do a whole hour on just the grounding thing. If you want to go further, man, get in touch with me. I'll be happy to help you and give
Yeah.
you some more tidbits and get you on your own practice routine. I think it would really enrich your life if you're up for it. So that offer's available if you want, right?
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you, Bryan. We will talk. I will see you through the break. I'm sure we'll talk to each
Yeah,
other.
we'll talk over the holidays for sure.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a fun one. I hope everyone just has a really joyous, blissful few weeks, and I'll see you in the new year.
Yes.
All right.
Sounds good.
Joy and thanks we give you, our gratitude for sharing your wisdom and your energy and your love with all of us here tonight. And we will see you again in a few weeks. And just ask for your healing energy and your wisdom and the words we heard tonight to stay with us and show up in our lives in really miraculous and beautiful ways, going to the light. And as always, we give our deep felt gratitude and thanks and send unconditional, bright, blissful love straight to the source. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.